Now, with all of the rest of what we know about how dangerous smoking is, why would there be some benefit to smoking marijuana?
There's a lot of brownies still. Let me get another question up here, and then we'll move down.
I'm glad you raised this issue, because I was going to ask, to take back that I come from the pharmacy regulation background, and it seems to me that the safe access to medication is a real prescription dispensed by a pharmacy that knows your medical history, heavily knows drugs, et cetera. If we could get the feds to put all of marijuana, including whether it's smoked for people working on inhalers and other forms of patches and things, would your organization support if we move marijuana into Schedule 2 or Schedule 3 with marijuana, repealing Prop 215 is unnecessary because anybody could get their marijuana through, and they really need to get it through the same way we get our oxycontin?
Well, I mean, I can tell you this, that we currently are part of a rescheduling petition to move marijuana to Schedule 3, 4, or 5. I can't speak of exactly what we will say about Prop 215 when and if that happens. But again, this points to the fact that the federal government is just making all of this more difficult. The reason why you can't have a marijuana prescription is because of the federal government. And so you go with this kind of more loosey-goosey recommendation system. And we certainly favor greater regulation.
So if it's rescheduled, then we don't need what we've got now. We don't need, we have pharmacies, we don't need.
I mean, I think it's just premature for us to comment on that at this time.
Let me get this one right here.
So, just one clarification. First, when you say that there isn't any medical evidence of the helpfulness of marijuana, that's because the federal government has blocked all of that study.
Not true. It's not true. No, it's not.
The federal government
That's just not true, ma'am. That's absolutely not true.
That is
The Race decision covered all of this in great detail. No. This was the.
Scientists have tried to have medical marijuana studies approved through the federal government and get marijuana from the one farm in a country that is allowed to provide marijuana legally to 8 people in this country.
Ma'am, that's as anecdotal as the suggestion that everybody who is using medical marijuana really has a proven legitimate use for it. No, it is.
And second, Marinol does not work for a variety of people. And for the federal government to keep pushing Marinol, the reason they do it is because that's a drug that's actually patented and sold by a drug company. Marijuana is a plant that grows out of the ground, and the drug company can't patent it and make money off of it, which is one of the reasons why this whole idea of bringing it through the pharmacy is not going to work. Drug companies are not going to get behind something that they can't own exclusively. But third, your point about marijuana being dangerous. Alcohol is so much more dangerous than marijuana. People drink too much.
Not true, ma'am. Not true.
They're violent. They do things that are horrible to other people.
That's an old saw. That's an old saw.
Wait, I want you to finish a question, please. A question. Okay, who's got the next question?
Come on, that is so nonsensical. That is so nonsensical. I'm sorry, but it doesn't even rise to the level of being entitled to a response. We've had instances of train operators who have been high on marijuana who caused accidents. We've had cases of airline pilots who have taken their planes down with marijuana. Listen, ma'am, the notion that people are using marijuana and staying home and watching cartoons is so fanciful as to be absurd. I don't know if you're drinking the Kool-Aid on this.
Can we have another question, please? This young lady who I was pointing out before, yeah. No, you with the black jacket.
I was curious about why they found marijuana to be inherently harmful, but it's true, piggybacking on her, that alcohol, I don't know of a study where they were seeing any positive effects of alcohol other than wine for the heart. And yet that is legal, as well as cigarettes. It's going to be harmful.
The Schaefer Commission, among others, made a thing that, but the Schaefer Commission, among others, made a finding that marijuana was more like the other Schedule I substances in terms of its harmfulness than substances like alcohol, tobacco, and caffeine, which are also, in a way, drugs. 90% of people who use alcohol have no problem with developing an addiction to it, whereas developing an addiction to it, whereas significantly higher numbers of persons who use controlled substances, Schedule I substances do develop a dependency on it. And the science of the damage caused by marijuana, which is set out both in the excerpt of record that I read from earlier, as well as in the Reich decision, and consistently for the last 40 years, is legion.
If addictiveness is a factor, then how do you explain that?
I said, in terms of the harm that is produced, it is more like the Schedule I substances. The scientists and the doctors have found, not the lawyers, have found, than alcohol, tobacco, or caffeine. That's the conclusion reached.
What are the factors addictiveness?
No, addiction by itself is not. You can be addicted to caffeine. You can be addicted to cigarettes.
There's a class in here at 1:10, so we got to leave in 1 minute. One more question here.
I just had a question about the excerpt of the record that you read from the Schaefer Commission, and you read that they did not recommend legalizing crack. I think those are the words you said. And Joe from State Access said that the Schaefer Commission recommended decriminalization of marijuana for personal use. And so I was wondering how not recommending legalization of trafficking would rebut the Schaefer Commission recommended decriminalization.
Well, I just suggest that you look at this or some other excerpt of record, the official record of the Schaefer Commission, rather than rely on a hearsay claim of what they may have said.
And I would suggest the same.
We have to say thank you and stop because we have another class coming in. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much.
Thank you, Joe.
I apologize for ambushing you, but it was the friendliest question you got.
Thanks a lot for
No, thank you for coming. Too bad we only had a 45 minutes.